Hello. I'm so glad you could join us today. It is my honor to welcome you to UCLA's Commencement Weekend. This ceremony is devoted to honoring the students from UCLA's College of Letters and Science. While the students and the official party are assembling, let me take a moment to tell you about UCLA. I'm proud to say that your graduate has attended one of America's finest universities. UCLA is a national and international leader in the breadth and quality of its academic, research, healthcare, cultural, continuing education, and athletic programs. 6 alumni and 5 faculty have been awarded the Nobel Prize. And every year, the accomplishments of our students grow. You will be pleased to know that the academic performance of the students in the class of 2013 makes them the highest achieving students to ever graduate from UCLA. If you are new to the UCLA campus, you're in Pauley Pavilion, the home of the Bruin teams in men and women's basketball and volleyball and women's gymnastics. UCLA has America's most successful intercollegiate sports program. Bruin teams have won more national championships than any other university. In Pauley, you can see the banners representing 49 championships won by men and women in 6 sports. In addition to our intercollegiate athletics, Pauley has hosted the 1984 Olympics, visits by President Bill Clinton and the Dalai Lama, and the 1988 presidential debate between George H.W. Bush and Michael Dukakis. Other events that take place in Pauley include Commencement, the new student welcome, the Bruin Bash, the Spring Sing, and numerous intramural and sports clubs, team practices, and competitions. After commencement, I invite you to look around UCLA outside of Pauley. You will find one of the world's most beautiful universities. In just a moment, the graduating class of the College of Letters and Science for 2013 will join us. After the students arrive, the official party will enter, including our faculty, the campus leadership, and our speakers. I want to offer you my congratulations. I know how proud you are of your graduate. The entire UCLA community shares in your pride. Are we ready? Family and friends of our graduates, I present to you the graduating class of 2013 from UCLA's College of Letters and Science. Ladies and gentlemen, the official party. Hello, UCLA graduates. Welcome to your commencement ceremony. Singing the national anthem today is Shannon Foley. Please rise for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the
Thank you, Shannon. Now I am pleased to introduce the Senior Dean of the College and Dean of Physical Sciences, Joe Rudnick.
Hello, UCLA graduates. That's it. On behalf of the deans and the faculty who join me on stage, I welcome you and your family to the commencement ceremony for the College of Letters and Science. You're a pretty sedate group. I'll try to get it. I want to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for the College of Letters and Science. Much better. I would also like to thank Professor Fred Berwick, where are you at? Our college marshal, for greeting our guests this afternoon. Graduates, this is a day to acknowledge your achievements and celebrate the culmination of your undergraduate studies. You have met the highest challenges of education. You have been partners with faculty in our missions of learning and discovery. You will be the next generation of leaders in the field you pursue. Every year, the accomplishments of our students grow. Class of 2013, you will be glad to know that you are the most talented and accomplished students ever to graduate from UCLA. Very good. By the way, I told the earlier crop of graduates the same thing, but it's even more true for you. Graduates, joining us here today are many special people who stood by you through your years at UCLA, your family and friends. I would like to ask the parents, the partners, the friends, and the family members of our graduates to stand. Thank you all.
Dean and Vice Provost of Undergraduate Education. My fellow deans and I are honored to acknowledge the students who graduate today with very special academic achievements. I would like to recognize the students who are graduating with one of the highest academic awards the College of Letters and Science can give to an undergraduate, the designation of College Honors. The extraordinary students who are graduating with college honors have completed outstanding work in their major and also a special set of rigorous courses. Of the several thousands of students who are graduating from UCLA this year, only 465 are receiving college honors. Will the students who are graduating today with college honors please stand? Thank you. Be seated.
Graduates, I'm Victoria Sork, Dean of Life Sciences. I am pleased to recognize our many students who are involved in projects in the community. They accomplish this work through campus programs that bring together civic involvement with academic courses. Would all of the graduating seniors who served in the community please stand? Thank you. We're very, very proud of what you contribute. Please be seated.
Graduates, I'm Alessandro Duranti, Dean of Social Sciences. I will be back for that. I am privileged to acknowledge the recipients of the 2013 Chancellor's Service Award. The Chancellor's Service Award is presented to students whose college careers have been distinguished by dedication to UCLA and the community. Will the students who have been honored as recipients of the Chancellor's Service Award please stand so we can recognize your great commitment? Thank you. Please be seated.
Hello, graduates. I'm David Skalberg, Dean of Humanities. I'd like to present our students who have received Latin honors, the recognition for very high academic achievement. There are 3 levels of Latin honors, and I'd like to acknowledge first those who have received Latin honors cum laude. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Please be seated. Next, I'd like to honor students who are graduating magna cum laude. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. Finally, will those students who are graduating with the highest Latin honors, summa cum laude, please stand and be recognized? Lovely. Thank you. Please be seated.
Finally, I would like to recognize students who have participated in research while at UCLA. As you know, UCLA is one of the world's great research universities. More than half of our students enhance their academic careers by participating directly in research, working on independent research projects side by side with faculty, or writing an honors thesis, or participating in research classes. These students perform original work and advance the frontiers of knowledge. Would all of the graduating seniors who participated in research please stand so we can recognize your achievements? Congratulations. Now I am pleased to welcome the Chancellor of UCLA. In his 5 years as Chief Executive of this campus, Gene Block has worked to strengthen the university's academic excellence, build our campus diversity, and inspire a new level of civic engagement within the UCLA family. Please welcome the Chancellor of UCLA, Gene Block.
Thank you, Dean Rudnick, and a very warm welcome to the class of 2013. Welcome here. But also your proud families and friends, the assembled faculty, staff, and distinguished guests, welcome to this great campus. Especially welcome to our keynote speaker, Ann Meyers Drysdale, and thank you for being here. As you know, our speaker had quite a history in Pauley Pavilion, so it's great that she's back to speak in Pauley Pavilion. So before I say anything else, I want to say one important word that I think really summarizes my feelings about this evening, and that is congratulations, a really heartfelt congratulations. You've made all of us very proud by your accomplishments. You've studied hard, obviously. You've worked hard to reach this very special moment in your lives. So congratulations, you've done a great job. And you know, at ceremonies like this, it's very common to quote famous philosophers, poets, leading figures from history, politicians. But I want to try something a little more unconventional today. I want to quote a real expert about UCLA, a real expert, someone who really knows what I'm talking about, a current UCLA student. So many of you, I suspect, have seen the video, I Love UCLA Spirit video. Have you seen that? Some of you must have seen it. Yeah. Little response back here. See it, right? It's on YouTube. And for all parents and family members, you should see it. It's cute and it's informative. But I was struck by a comment that was made by one of your fellow students, actually a junior named Reed Taguchi. Reed worked on the Spirit video this year along with two graduating seniors, Emily Mendia and Cyril Spalding, who were actually at the 2 o'clock celebration, so they were recognized for their contribution. So it's an interesting video, and Reed says the following in this video. He says, "I feel like UCLA is not just a campus. It's a community, and even though you're only a student for 4 years, you're a Bruin forever." And I think he couldn't have said that better. So in these few words, I think Reed captured perfectly one of the great things about UCLA, something that you're going to benefit from, that you've benefited from already, and that's we are a community. We're not just a collection of individuals, we're a community. And that's the theme I really want to touch on in the remaining time I have today, about how we're a community and how we're going to remain a community after you graduate. You're going to be a Bruin forever. I know you're graduating from UCLA. Many of you will move away from here, but this is just the next phase in your life, and in a real sense, you'll never leave UCLA, and you can be certain we're not going to leave you. These 4 letters will follow you forever, whether they're on your resume, and your graduation will always be important to you, or whether you play a direct role in playing a role on campus after you graduate. Our relationship is changing. Certainly changing. You're no longer going to be a student here unless you're staying here for graduate school or professional school, but our relationship for even those of you that are moving away is not ending. Just consider our commencement speaker today. So Ann Meyers Drysdale graduated from UCLA a few years ago, but she's here. So she left UCLA, but where is she? She's your speaker today. She still remains connected to this institution. That's just one example of the enduring relationship that our graduates have with their alma mater. This is really an unbreakable, unshakable bond between UCLA and all of our alumni. Another great example is Jackie Robinson. So many of you have had a chance, I hope, to see the movie 42. It's a popular movie now playing about Jackie Robinson's barrier-breaking career in baseball. Well, I'm proud to say that UCLA was mentioned twice in that movie. Just think about it. Jackie Robinson played his first Major League Baseball in 1947, and 66 years later, in a major motion picture celebrating his remarkable achievements, UCLA was mentioned twice. These 4 letters followed him everywhere. They also followed Jackie's widow, Rachel Robinson. Rachel also attended UCLA, and in 2009, I was proud, and many of you may have been there, we presented Rachel with UCLA's highest honor, the UCLA Medal. Again, this has been an integral part of her life. We stay attached to our alumni. The Alumni Association recognizes outstanding achievements of our alumni with annual awards, and many alumni volunteers happily serve on boards and committees across campus, and actually throughout the nation and throughout the world. So I hope you'll stay engaged. Our active alumni are advocates for us. They play a role in arguing for public higher education in our state, in our nation. Indeed, they are some of the most visible people in this country arguing for public education, have graduated from a UC campus. So not surprisingly, some of our most active and generous supporters to UCLA are also UCLA alumni. So they've given back in profound ways with their time, with their financial resources, and we're most appreciative of that. That has helped all of you get an excellent education, and hopefully your generosity, when you're in a position to be philanthropic, will help others in your place in the future. On the academic side, 6 UCLA alumni have been awarded Nobel Prizes, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I continually read about our alumni achieving great success in academics, in the business world, in athletics. It's really something we all can be proud of. You are really joining a spectacular tradition, and when you're successful, we're going to celebrate right along with you. We're going to brag when you're successful, as we do for all of our 400,000 living alumni. 400,000 individuals have graduated from this institution. You now join that group, and congratulations on doing that. And from this day forward, the far-flung Bruin alumni community is now part of your extended family. It's part of your support team wherever in the world you find yourselves working or performing community service. You're going to have a group of individuals, you'll find them, that are Bruins. So I encourage all of you to stay in touch with your classmates, your roommates, your teammates. This is a family that's really worth preserving, and I hope you'll stay in touch for your lifetime. So as you move forward on your journey, you've got to adapt to changes. We've seen it in the economy. This is a much more challenging environment, certainly, than it was when I graduated. In society as a whole, which is beset by problems that you can help solve. We'll be there helping you. The alma mater will not be standing still. We'll also be trying to transform ourselves to help you and help future students. So in the coming decades, we're going to champion ways to transform the educational experience with new formats and platforms for learning, interactive approaches, richer online resources, high-tech collaborations, and immersive alternatives to traditional lectures. We're really in the process of reimagining undergraduate and graduate education, and we're going to continue to find ways to balance a great liberal arts and science foundation with pragmatic skills. We want you to leave scholars, but we want you to leave scholars with a toolkit to be competitive in today's marketplace. So we hope you to leave deeply educated, but also with the skills that will make you immediately employable. We have to do both. And we will do both. So our transformational promise for our future undergraduates also extends to our growing and ever-changing alumni population, which now includes you. Lifelong education, and you're aware of this, is becoming the new normal, and UCLA is committed to establishing mutually beneficial lifelong learning relationships with our once and our future students. So things have changed, and there was a time when you could get a 4-year degree and you were done. You went out into the job market and you never had to call upon any additional education. That's changing. Nowadays, you'll probably change your career multiple times. You'll be going back for additional education. We want that education to be a UCLA education. We want to create a lifelong relationship with you so you'll come back and continue to rely on this institution. So we've labeled this a lifetime warranty. So we're going to be the only school in the country that offers a lifetime warranty on our education. And what do we mean by giving you a lifetime warranty? We want to make sure you're going to have easy, ongoing access to UCLA for mentoring, for networking, for continuing education, and other vital resources. We hope to offer you a tremendous number of resources, so wherever you are in the world, you'll be able to rely on us to help you remain successful. This is increasingly important, as I said, because you will change jobs in your lives many times. And UCLA wants to be there to give you a helping hand. So, beside us helping you at a distance, we hope that you return often. So many of our graduates show up yearly at alumni events or supporting activities on campus. About half of the alumni of UCLA actually live within the Los Angeles area or within Southern California. So there are opportunities for many of our former students to come back and help, to get engaged in this campus, to help recruit new students to this campus, and help in your communities make UCLA a welcoming voice, and that's important to us. So you're going to be ambassadors for us, and we're going to be ambassadors for you. We're going to make sure that you have all the tools that you need. This is really a fantastic institution. I think you feel that way after your time here. I certainly feel that way after my time here. This is a life-changing environment, I think, for all of us. This place makes a difference. It has a huge footprint in Southern California, but it has a huge footprint in the world. It's not only an outstanding educational institution, It serves people in many ways, from our health system to our athletics. We really would provide entertainment and joy for people. We provide health care for individuals. This is a spectacular institution I know we all care about, and you now become part of our alumni group, and I know you'll continue to care. So congratulations. Today is the day to celebrate. It's great having all of you here. Thank you.
I am very happy to introduce your student speaker. Serena Lee came to UCLA as a sophomore and today receives her bachelor's degree in communications with college honors. During her academic career, Serena has served as the undergraduate representative on the University Committee on Disability and participated in the Undergraduate Research Scholars Program. She is also a member of the Regent Scholar Society, and Bruin Tzu-Ching participates in the Dashu Center Global Siblings Program and is a Hammer Museum Ambassador volunteer. In her free time, she volunteers in the community at Stop Cancer events and reading to kids. After graduation, fairly soon, Serena will begin work at Google in product marketing. Please welcome a graduate who is dedicated to service, your student speaker, Serena Lee.
Dear class of 2013, proud family members, hi Mom, faculty, staff, distinguished alumni, family friends from that school across town, possibly worried parents. Congratulations to my fellow graduates. We made it. As a class of 2013, we are the first class to graduate in the new Poly Pavilion. When we first entered UCLA, we walked into these hallowed halls as young adults with our minds open and ready to learn. This university inspires us to follow our dreams. At UCLA, we learn from our professors and from our peers to be ourselves and to become extraordinary individuals. I discovered my passion to empower people with disabilities with the encouragement of my mentor, Professor Paul von Blum. When I acquired a brain injury, oh, yay, von Blum. When I acquired a brain injury from an accident, I took some time away to recover. Returning my junior year, UCLA embraced me with open arms and supported me with kindness. The fact that I am an Asian American with a hidden disability standing in front of all of you today is a true example of how much UCLA celebrates diversity and individuality. At UCLA, we are taught to aspire to inspire and to give back to our community. We gather to volunteer, tutor, and assist other communities. We learn that we can make an impact not only as individuals, but with an extended family of peers. We attend lectures with Olympic athletes and talented writers. We work in labs with scientists and inventors. We are dreamers and leaders. So much has happened on this campus. The internet started in room 3420 in Bolter Hall. Fahrenheit 451 was penned in Powell Library. Martin Luther King Jr. and John F. Kennedy delivered speeches at the top of Jan Steps. Elle Wood studied outside of Kirchhoff Hall. And Cal Penn was an RA in Saxon Suites. UCLA is a university that is quite simply paradise. Thanks to all the stairs around campus, we are surrounded with beautiful sun-kissed students with wonderfully toned legs. From the dormitories, we can see views of the Bel Air Gate and Pacific Ocean. This campus has outdoor pools, tanning chairs, a sculpture garden, a rock climbing wall, and a lovely Taco Bell. This place is paradise. Over the past 4 years, we gobbled up homemade food and bonded with new friends at dinner for 12 strangers. We danced for 26 hours at Dance Marathon as our peers cheered us on. We attended club meetings that offered free food and befriended classmates with Premier swipes. We silent raved in Powell Library, took naps on Jan steps, flyered on Bruin Walk, or perfected skills to avoid flyer givers. Cheered on our Quidditch team and explored Los Angeles with classmates. We yelled at midnight during finals week and clapped when we beat SC. We have so many Westwood Village memories, from In-N-Out runs and Brew Co. specials to red carpet movie premieres and Target's grand opening. Like many of you, I dreamed of going to UCLA, and these past few years have been a dream come true. We are so fortunate to graduate from the most applied to university in the nation. We will soon join Bruin alumni and continue to make our mark in the world. Once a Bruin, always a Bruin. Ann Meyers Drysdale is an exemplary model of a true Bruin. Time magazine called Ann one of the 10 greatest female athletes of all time. The San Diego Union Tribune wrote that Ann never met a door she didn't believe she could kick the living hell out of. She broke so many glass ceilings and opened the doors for many young women. Her mentor, Coach John Wooden, said she was the one who really got women's basketball going. When Ann was in high school, she was the first high school student to be part of the U.S. national team. She was the first woman to be signed to a 4-year UCLA athletic scholarship and the first 4-time male or female Kodak All-American. Ann led UCLA to its 1978 Women's National Championship. She was in the first ever U.S. women's basketball team that went to the Olympic Games and won a silver medal. She is the only woman to sign a contract with the NBA. Wow. Ann is currently vice president of the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury and a broadcaster for the NBA's Phoenix Suns. In true Bruin nature, Ann is involved in community service and helping others. For over 30 years, she has been involved with Special Olympics and currently serves as the sports ambassador for Special Olympics Southern California. Her courageous choices have created countless opportunities for female athletes and executives. She is fighting for the day the phrase, "you let some girl beat you," becomes obsolete. Ann inspires young women to break glass ceilings and to pursue their dreams. She is a fearless Bruin who isn't afraid to break down doors. She is a true Bruin. Please welcome Miss Ann Meyers Drysdale.
Okay, everybody please get up. We're going to do an 8 clap. Come on! You lead it, Serena.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA! UCLA! Fight, fight, fight!
Hey! Bad shoes, bad shoes. Wow. I don't have to give a speech. Serena gave mine. She wants me to come back to UCLA. How do you not listen to that speech and want to leave? How fun going to school here. But congratulations, class of 2013. You did it. I'd first like to thank Chancellor Block, Senior Dean Rudnick, the deans of the College of Letters and Science, faculty, alumni, families, and graduates for having me here today. Before I start, I can't tell you how many memories come flooding back to me standing here in Pauley Pavilion. This place has always been like a shrine, a cathedral, really a monument to me, spending so many hours here. The first memory that comes back is watching my brother David play here for Coach John Wooden and being a part of 2 national championships. Then, right here on this court, on my 23rd birthday, our women's team, one of my players, teammates, Beth Moore is here, we won the national championship in almost front of 10,000 people. And it was the first time they had women's basketball on TV. And lastly, when I had my number 15 retired, And it was the first time my husband, Dodger Hall of Fame pitcher Don Drysdale, and our two sons, DJ and Darren, were here at Pauley Pavilion. What a very special day. And just like today is so special for all of you. I've had a few firsts in my career, but you, as Serena said, are the very first graduating class to graduate in the new renovated Pauley Pavilion. No one else will ever be the first but you guys. How awesome is that? Now, I know you're feeling pretty proud right now and mixed with a little relief, too, and you all now hold a degree from UCLA, one of the top universities in the world, just not the United States, the world. So, truth be told, I get a little bit nervous speaking to such a large group. And since we're in Pauley Pavilion, and I'm usually watching a game or shooting baskets, I hope you'll kind of give me a moment so we can loosen up a little bit. I'm going to have some of the deans. Serena, come on, help me out. Okay, see if you can take a little stress off. Come on, guys. Grab it.
We should do it to Center. Run down the hall.
They all went. Whew! I don't have that big an arm. I can't get them there. Well, hopefully you'll remember those little stress balls. So when I was sitting in your seat 35 years ago, yes, right where you are, except I was over at Drake Stadium, I never imagined I'd be asked to speak to the 93rd graduating class from UCLA. I mean, honestly, how and why would they ask me? Believe me, I'm humbled and truly honored. When I went online to see who the famous UCLA alumni were, with the likes of Ralph Bunche, the first African American to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Astronaut Anna Lee Fisher, who became the first mother to go into space. And Jackie Robinson, not only an outstanding four-sport athlete here at UCLA, I played 7 in high school, but the first African American to integrate Major League Baseball, thus becoming a central figure in the civil rights movement. And I have to say, my husband, Don Drysdale, played with Jackie, so it was poetic. We have alumni that are unbelievable. Pulitzer Prize winners, astronauts, Olympians, and so many Bruins that have gone on and impacted the world. I can't even begin to name names, but look it up yourselves. One day, some of you will be on that list. We even have a couple professional poker players. I know you like that. But it's the foundation of our UCLA family. For me, UCLA was a dream, the school that brainiacs, elite male athletes, and the privileged attended. The school with strong opinions and a tenacity to change the world. They also came here. I grew up in Southern California, one of 11 children. I have 5 sisters and 5 brothers. So you can imagine sports and competition was a constant. Despite people teasing me and telling me things like, well, playing football during recess wasn't ladylike. Don't you love it when somebody says you can't do something? How it just motivates you? My parents ingrained in all of us that we would get an education, and I assumed I'd go to a state school close to home, with all those kids' tuition added up. Well, fate had different plans for me. In 1972, Title IX was passed, and it changed my life forever. It's the legislation that created equality for women within educational institutions, including athletics. And in 1975, UCLA did make the unprecedented offer of the first full athletic scholarship to a woman, me. It was as my prayers had been answered. I'd been watching my brother David become a star and part of the UCLA dynasty under legendary Coach John Wooden. As many of you know from being a Bruin, Coach Wooden's legacy is still felt here on campus. Through the Wooden Academy and his teachings of the Pyramid of Success. Those principles were instilled in me, and they continue to be guiding lights in my life, and hopefully yours. Keeping balance in your life, having the peace of mind, knowing that you've done your best to be the best that you can be, and you've proven that today. You've done your best. I don't know about you, but coming to UCLA can be pretty nerve-wracking. As excited as I was when I found out I was coming to UCLA, I was also a little bit scared. Did any of you feel that same way? I frequently questioned myself. Was I good enough? Was I smart enough? Was this the right school for me? Heck, they put me in dumbbell English in my first quarter. It was a huge transition from high school. Well, I've learned on numerous occasions in my life, blazing the trail is exciting, but it can also be really scary. It causes that nervous pit in your stomach, feeling excited about the possibilities, but also full of anxiety for the unknown, uncharted waters, similar to what I imagine many of you are feeling today. The giant question mark, what now? Once the celebrations are over and everyone has gone home, what's next? Of course, I think you've already been celebrating, have you? Even tonight, a little celebration, I hope soon. You may have a job already lined up. You may continue on your educational path. Start a family, take a break to travel, or you might not have a clue, like many of us still today. Well, whatever your next step, make it uncomfortable. Challenge yourself. When I was asked to give this speech, I thought about what advice could I share with you that could actually impact your future. I thought about my experiences and the number of unpaved paths I took, and one of the constants in my experiences has been stepping out of my comfort zone and seizing opportunities. I know you just spent 4, 5, maybe even 6 years learning about yourself. I took 5. You've become comfortable in your own skin and confident in the field you've studied. But now I'm encouraging you to take a risk. Go after your dreams. After all, as my late husband, Don Drysdale, used to say, you're only as good as yesterday's paper, or to relate in your terms, you're only as good as your last tweet. Life isn't going to stop while you figure out your next move. When you finish one race, another one begins. So stay ahead of the game and just go for it. Don't worry about that dreaded F word. Failure, not the one, failure. Come on. You've just accomplished a major goal, a goal that nearly only 30% of Americans have attained, a college degree. And now you'll slow down, hope that someone notices your resume among the hundreds of resumes that receive and offer you the dream job? Maybe some of you, but most of you, that's not reality. The key to success is finding your passion, working hard, taking the risks that others are too scared to take, and having faith that it will pay off. It doesn't come without fear or struggle. I know firsthand that even though you're simply following your dreams, others may try to tear you down and hold you back. My last year here at UCLA, I was coming off the national championship, had just graduated, had been the #1 pick of the newly formed Women's Professional Basketball League, not the WNBA. I also was preparing to play and get ready for my second Olympics when I got a call from the owner of the Indiana Pacers, asking if I was interested in trying out for the team. Well, certainly I was stunned. My brother was already playing in the NBA, and I was being given an opportunity. I had to make a tough decision, but I had played against guys my whole life. That wasn't the issue for me. This also happened to be the first year of ESPN and the National Enquirer, and I was the joke of their headlines. You know, there really was a time, you guys, when there was no ESPN Top 10s and no 24-hour sports or no YouTube. It's hard to imagine now, but I was bombarded with questions like, how did I think I could hold my own against the men? Where was I going to shower? That didn't bother me. I have 5 brothers. Or wasn't I scared to get hurt? And the guys that I was playing with, they took heat for it too. People would say, "You let some girl beat you?" I was born with a love for athletic competition, and someone gave me a chance to take it to the next level. It's like Coach Wooden said, fear of failure is the greatest failure of all. Ultimately, I didn't make the team, but at least I tried, and I had a great support system. Things didn't work out the way I had hoped, but that decision was another life-changing moment. It opened the door into broadcasting and other possibilities. Don't look back on your life and say, what if? Have the courage to step outside your comfort zone. Break free of your routine and enjoy an adventure. It's easy to look at some people and think they have it all. Don't be fooled by people that look like they breeze through life and seemingly have everything handed to them. One of the reasons life seems so good for them is because they're doing what they love. They're taking chances, making sacrifices, working hard, and are willing to fail in order to succeed. Is it always going to work out? Absolutely not. But passion to succeed will never fail you. No one can take away your passion or your work ethic. Winston Churchill said, "Failure is never fatal. Success is never final. It's courage that counts. Never give up." Just know in life, whatever you decide to do, there will be times you are defeated. You'll think you don't have what it takes to step out on a limb and take another chance, but someone will give you a boost. Like the tornadoes in Oklahoma, the hurricanes in the east, and how about the fires here in California and now in Colorado? People losing their homes, devastated by loss, their whole lives turned upside down. But did they give up? No. That's right. They come together, support one another. They're not defeated. As they say, they will rebuild. Communities, strangers, become teams working together. We all have personal tragedies too. Dealing with the loss of a loved one or someone sick, financial issues. Take the Boston Marathon bombing. Our own UCLA Bruin alumni softball champion Nicole Odom running her first race there. Her family at the finish line, waiting for her when the first bomb went off. And her dad, John, was hit. Nicole's husband, Matt Reyes, another UCLA Bruin and pro soccer player, rushed to her dad, took off his belt to stop the bleeding in John's leg. John was unconscious for 4 weeks, lost a tremendous amount of blood, died twice on the operating table. But he is alive today with both his legs. He's learning to walk again, and his family and the UCLA family is there. He has determination, courage, the heart to work hard, and the support. So give back to those that helped you and gave you a good foundation. Your parents, your grandparents, siblings, friends, teachers, mentors, UCLA. Thank them for their support and always help someone else along the way in your journey. As a single mother of 3, my daughter Drew, who's a sophomore here and loves to sing, I can tell you how much your parents and grandparents are grateful for the thank yous. Show appreciation to your team that helped you reach this momentous occasion, and they'll have your back as you set out on your next adventure. You understand dreaming big. You understand working hard and being a role model in your family, your Bruin family, and in your community. There will be people to encourage you, and they'll take the time to reach to you, to teach to you what it takes to get where you're headed. Maybe it'll be your fellow Bruins. maybe someone sitting right next to you, or maybe a complete stranger. No matter what, though, I promise you, you won't do it alone. As a basketball player, that's one of the first lessons you learn. Teamwork. As Coach Wooden used to say, it's amazing what can be accomplished when no one cares who gets the credit. Even Kobe Bryant of the Lakers can't win a championship with the other 4 guys out on the court with him. So you lose in sports all the time, and you win. You make mistakes, and you have triumphs, just like life. Don't ever forget that day you got accepted here to UCLA. How excited, proud, and a little scared you were. I hope you have a little bit of that feeling today. You know, there are 3 kinds of people in this world. Those who make it happen, those who watch what happens, and those who wonder what happened. You all made it happen. You made it to graduation, and you are now a Bruin for life. Congratulations, 2013 class UCLA.
Thank you, Ann. In preparation for these ceremonies, I read Ann's autobiography, which is titled, "You Let Some Girl Beat You?" And having read that and gotten to know her a little bit today, believe me, Ann, you belong in that pantheon of UCLA heroes that you recited at the beginning of your remarks. You are up there. Thank you so much for being with us today. Now it is my honor to present the candidates for the conferral of their degrees. Graduates, this is it. I will call on the deans of the college to present the bachelor's candidates to Chancellor Block. Presenting the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in the UCLA International Institute is Cindy Fan, Vice Provost of International Studies.
Thank you, Pat. You are a beautiful audience. And that's including you sitting in the front, you sitting in the back, you sitting all the way up there, and you sitting all the way up there. And that's including Serena's mom. Hi. And that's even including the faculty. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree from the International Institute please rise and remain standing? One of the most valued qualities of higher education is the critical role it plays in bridging the gaps that separate nations and cultures. The research and teaching programs in the International Institute aim at crossing boundaries, breaking silos, building bridges, and improving global understanding. The interdisciplinary BA programs in the International Institute are designed to improve student understanding of the world and produce global citizens, you, as the next generation of leaders who connect the global to the local and the local to the global. Now, earlier today, Senior Dean Joe Rudnick told me that I am allowed to ask you to cheer when your major is called. Are you ready? Some of our students focus on a particular region of the world as is the case for our majors in East Asian Studies. You're allowed to cheer. And that's including parents and loved ones and grandparents and friends. European Studies, Latin American Studies, Middle Eastern and North African Studies, Southeast Asian Studies. Now, other students explore global issues through our thematic programs, as is the case for our majors in Global Studies, and last but not least, International Development Studies. Graduates of the International Institute, you leave UCLA with an educational background that will help you recognize the value of new forms of civic engagement across scales and embodying both the national and the international. You are empowered, and I repeat, you are empowered to shape and improve the world as leaders in business, education, government, the nonprofit sector, in fact, in any endeavors that you are passionate about and in any parts of the world. Chancellor Block, I am proud and pleased to present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts from the UCLA International Institute. Congratulations.
Thank you, Cindy. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the International Institute, please be seated. The candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Physical Sciences will be presented by Dean Joseph Rudnick.
Thank you, Pat. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Physical Sciences please rise and remain standing? Okay, you all heard what Vice Provost Fan said to the International Institute students, so I want to be hearing from you. At UCLA, work in the physical sciences spans the fundamental processes that affect our physical and our biological world on length scales ranging from microscopic to cosmic over spans of time that range from billions of years to minute fractions of a second. Our students explore the natural sciences using the tools of statistics, atmospheric and oceanic sciences, a couple of you, okay? Earth and space sciences, environmental sciences, physics and astronomy, mathematics, and chemistry and biochemistry. All right. To better understand the characteristics of energy, matter, numbers, our Earth, our oceans, our atmosphere, our solar system, our galaxy, our universe, and life itself, our world of machines, computers, miracle drugs, and instant global communications is built on the foundations created by physical scientists. I know that the graduates here today, the new scientists of our era, will contribute to the advancement of knowledge and the improvement of the human condition. Chancellor Block, it is my honor to present to you the ferociously dedicated, extravagantly gifted, inquisitive, analytical, altogether stellar candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Physical Sciences.
Thank you, Joe. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Physical Sciences, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Humanities is Dean David Schaberg.
Thank you, Pat. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in the Division of Humanities please rise and remain standing? Excellent. Humanists, you've spent your years at UCLA examining the most profound issues relating to the human condition. You've learned to understand and respect the languages, philosophies, traditions, and cultures of our nation and of the wider world, and to appreciate what unites us all. Chancellor Block, it's my privilege to present to you our informed and articulate majors in language, literatures, and cultures from around the world, including Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. You can cheer for each other, too. Russian, German, Old Norse, Finnish, Danish, Armenian, Arabic, and Persian. Hindi, Urdu, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. French, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish. And to present our sophisticated and perceptive majors in the study of religion. Yeah. Comparative literature, classics, and linguistics. I must mention our creative and contemplative majors in music history. Good. Art history. Yeah. Philosophy. Applied linguistics. And English. And students who explored programs in LGBT studies and digital humanities. Yeah. Chancellor Block, I present to you the literate, logical, brilliant, creative, and humane candidates for the degree of the Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Humanities.
Thank you, David. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the humanities, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Life Sciences is Dean Victoria Sork.
Thank you, Pat. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Life Sciences please rise and remain standing? You, our graduating students, have come into life sciences at an amazing time. Over the course of your lifetimes, our ability to study life has catapulted in ways we couldn't have imagined just a couple decades ago. Innovations in DNA sequencing led to the Human Genome Project that it's opened up whole waves of research. We've had other innovations in brain imaging, nanotechnology. But I also want to point out we've also produced amazing alums, and I just want to give you one example of a recent alum who we presented the World Ecology Medal to last year, Dr. Paul Terasaki. He was a biology major at UCLA. He received his PhD from UCLA. He was a professor at UCLA, and he went on to discover and invent ways of tissue culturing that allowed transplant surgery that have saved the lives of people all over the world, and he's a UCLA alum. So you see, new technologies and computational capacity are allowing our scientists to do deep research that is making advances in human health, psychological well-being, new ways of producing better food, and more biofuels, and even to allowing us to develop conservation strategies for all living organisms. At UCLA, our majors have taken classes from world-renowned scientists, and they've done work at their sides in majors across a variety of topics, but starting with biology, physiological sciences, molecular cell developmental biology, microbiology, immunology, and molecular genetics, neurosciences, ecology, behavior, and evolution, marine biology, computational and systems biology, psychobiology, and of course, we're proud to have the psychology major in life sciences. In these rapidly changing times, the life sciences is addressing issues of major societal concern. We need people like you in schools, in research, in healthcare, in industry, in startup companies, in government, and all to make life better for all of society. Chancellor Block, I'm honored to present to you the psychologically well-adjusted, biologically sound, neurologically well-connected, ecologically sensitive, evolutionarily complex, immunologically resistant, molecularly based, physiologically well-integrated, developmentally sophisticated, computationally advanced, and simply very special candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Life Sciences.
Thank you, Victoria. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Life Sciences, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Social Sciences is Dean Alessandro Durante.
Thank you, Pat. Okay, social scientists, yes. You don't need to be told. You know when to get up. You know when to get ready. That's because today, more than ever, we need to understand societies and their problems. Today, more than ever, we need to come up with solutions to those problems. Today, more than ever, we need to communicate across cultures and societies. And to know, all right, and to create partnerships with people in the US and across the world. Today, more than ever, we need to study differences in order to make a difference. All right, that was good. In the social sciences, we'll learn how to listen to all people. And now we also need to show that we know how to be heard. In the social sciences, we carry out research across a wide range of disciplines, and we educate students in. This is the first of the call and response part. Aerospace studies, military science, and naval science. American Indian Studies, Afro-American Studies, Asian American Studies, Gender Studies, Chicano Studies, Geography, and the major of Serena Lee, the student speaker, Communication Studies, and Anthropology, and the department and discipline of our amazing, inspiring speaker, Ann Meyers Drysdale, Sociology, and History, and Political Science, and the people who hopefully know how to manage money, Economics. In this world, you have to be prepared, and you are prepared with your background to be active agents in the construction of a better world for yourself, your family, your friends, colleagues, and the world at large. Chancellor's Block, I am honored to present to you the most socially engaged, culturally creative, interactionally skillful, research savvy, service-oriented, entrepreneurially innovative, multilingual, multicultural, multi-everything you want. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Social Sciences.
Thank you, Sandro. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Division of Social Sciences, please be seated. The candidates for the bachelor's degree have now been presented. I now call on Chancellor Block to confer the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts on the class of 2013. Will all of the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts please stand and remain standing?
Candidates. Candidates for the bachelor's degree, your presence here today demonstrates the rich reward of intelligence and perseverance. The UCLA community takes pride in celebrating the achievements of the class of 2013. More than anything, I hope that your experience at UCLA has opened some windows on the world for you and leaves you yearning to learn more. Your undergraduate experience is just the beginning of a life of continuing discovery, for it is a lifelong learners who will excel in our rapidly changing world. And now I have to say the magic words that will move you along and grant your degree. But the page is missing. Oh dear. Does anyone have a copy of the page? How many of you could stay an extra year? Oh, so. The page has arrived. Okay, can't stay. Your spot is taken already. Now, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science. Congratulations, graduates.
graduates. Let me congratulate all of us for becoming the newest alumni of UCLA as the class of 2013. Graduates, we have one more final tradition to observe. Before we received our degrees, we wore our tassels on the right side of our mortarboards. Now that our degrees have been confirmed, it's time to move our tassel to the left side of our mortarboards and join the select company of UCLA graduates. Bachelors, let's turn our tassels. Or not.
To close commencement, please join in the singing of the alma mater, Hail to the Hills of Westwood. The words are printed on the back of your program. The UCLA a cappella singers will lead us in the alma mater.
Hail to the hills of Westwood, to the mighty sea below. Hail to our alma mater, she will conquer every foe. For we're loyal to the Southland, her honor will uphold. We'll gladly give our hearts to thee, to the blue and to the gold. We'll gladly give our hearts to thee, to the blue and to the gold.
Thank you. The UCLA alumna singers, best wishes. Go Bruins!
We ask that guests please exit Pauley Pavilion through the east doors and join your graduates on Bruin Plaza. Thank you and good evening.